Hi, everybody. It's Gene Simmons, and you're not, and you're listening to the Potter Than Hell podcast with Steve, BC, BB, and Dylan. But you knew that, didn't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Potter Than Hell podcast. This is your last stop on the crazy train of hard rock and heavy metal. So sit back, buckle in, and hang on. Here we go.
Hello, Potter Than Hellions. Welcome back to the Potter Than Hell podcast. This is Steve, and with me tonight is
BC
and
BB.
And for what this is the final Potter Than Hell episode at the 62.
Final one. Yeah.
At the 62.
Whoa,
at the 62.
Oh,
so
this is a surprise.
easy.
We forgot to tell you, BC.
Over the New Year's, these two fine gentlemen and my nephew Kevin and my coworker Dan and these guys' wives and family and friends helped us move, and so this is the last one at the studio at the 62. A lot of fond memories here. We've been recording here for, I figure, 5 years, because we started here during COVID, and then we kind of went back to the library, and then we came back here again. So a good like at least 4.5 years worth of episodes we recorded here. And we recorded some at Jen's, we recorded some at the library. We're still going to do the Kiss Crew ones and stuff at the library, but and we will record some at the new place too. It's going to be we'll just call it 62 South. We're about 15 miles south of where we're at right now for me. So it's sad. It's I'm very sad about it. But new chapter coming. So looking forward to it. So BC, how are you?
Yeah, doing good. Another week almost in the books.
I know this week went by quick, didn't it?
Went by quick. I can't complain. There's nothing really crazy going on. Everything's peaceful.
Yeah. Peaceful. Oh, it's very peaceful for you, fucker.
Okay.
All by yourself.
BC's left to his own devices for about 2 weeks at least here.
Who knows? Maybe 3, 4. Who knows?
I told her I forwarded your mail. Relax.
Yeah.
BB, how about you? How are you?
Doing good, buddy. Kind of quiet down there, down at the hill. Casey's going back to school on Sunday, so we'll be trekking to Philly. So that house will be a little bit more quieter than normal because she's always the one running around. So it'll be different, but
she'll be back for spring break.
Yeah, she'll be back.
Or maybe I don't know. Maybe she'll go somewhere on spring break if they go somewhere.
Yeah, like last time. Last time she went to Bali. Like,
oh, that's right. I forgot about that. She was halfway around, probably 3/4 of the way around the world.
Yep.
Bye.
Good for her, though. Good for her. That's awesome. All right.
How about you, Roddy?
Oh, I'm good. This move and this is kind of weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
I've been in this house for 31 years, and it's different waking up in a different place daily. Kind of feels like I'm living in a hotel right now.
Like you're on vacation or something.
Yeah. Because we have a townhouse, so it's like totally different from here. There's 14 rooms in this house with 2 of us here. I mean, it's like, come on. So we're downsizing, and once again, thank you guys for your help on the move the other day. And but everything's good though. Everything's good. Work is still good. I have a commute now. First time I have a commute ever.
Yeah.
So I got like a half an hour ride every day. So
what are you going to be listening to? You're going to listen to audiobooks,
podcasts?
podcasts?
Well, I can tell you when we do what we're listening to.
Okay.
It's only been 4 days so far that I've commuted. So I've got I think I got 3 albums down that I've listened to. So I can get probably a whole album in between back and forth. So. And I've been trying different routes. I tried a different one today. That may be the route, but everything's good though. And once again, thank you guys.
You got it, buddy.
Thanks to Kevin and Dan and everyone else that helped. Renee and Brandon and Nikki and everybody. And Vanessa and Keaton. So I hope I didn't leave anybody out. Last week, we had part 2 of our 2025 wrap up. And I love doing those episodes. And when we do our hidden gems, because we're going to do them because Dylan's not here to kibosh us tonight. I actually found an album that was from last year, and I'll talk about it later. I enjoy doing those the wrap up ones, and I like that we break them up into 2 because what that does is we banged it out that night. I think we recorded. I don't know. Did we record Jeopardy? No, we recorded Jeopardy and then another one. Then we did those 2 in one night. So it's good, and it gave us a nice break during the holidays, and we were off for like before Christmas. So this is the first we've recorded in
a couple of weeks.
about good 3 weeks. So it's good to get a little break in the action, and I would have the couple episodes we have coming up are ones that are not labor intensive, because the one we're going to do next week we were supposed to do last year, so everyone should have their stuff done, and then, people are tweaking stuff, so we'll see what's going to come up for next week. But what's your wrap up on the wrap ups, BB?
Yeah, it was neat to see what everybody enjoyed over the years, because it seemed like a lot of us were in a little different places with music, checking out other podcasts, seeing what they were listening to at the end of the year, a lot of ground ball common ones. But, what I like about us, we have kind of 4 different directions on where we go. And, a lot of times, especially with me, I'll pick a couple, yeah, they were good. But then I try to find something that's a little bit deeper that nobody, no one's ever heard of or listened to, just to give our listeners something to say, hey, maybe I will check this out if, these guys mentioned it. So, yeah, it's definitely different for this year. Seems like towards the back half of the year, I did a lot of, looking and trying to find albums to bring out. It just seemed like the first half of the year was kind of slow for some reason. But, yeah, I love doing that. Yeah, great episode.
It was, because I remember when we do the halfway album episode, it was kind of tough to pick one. I was like, and it's weird because the one I picked ended up being my number 1 album of the year, but that doesn't usually happen, because usually, some years we're like, damn, there's Priest and Saxon and everybody out, and this year was kind of kind of straight across the line. But it ended up good though. There were some good ones when it was all said and done, but I think it was the hardest year to pick. For me, it was, anyways. It was, but always good. So that's why I love new stuff. What do you think, BC?
It was good. Like you said, it was hard. For me, it was hard too, because there wasn't nothing that hit in the face like other years. So I was delving into, trying to catch up on albums I might have overlooked. So I took a long time to get ready, but we still made enough of this, but it was a little bit of a challenge.
It was.
For me,
it was. Hopefully, this year will be good, because there's some cool ones slated to come out already.
23rd, baby.
What?
Megadeth.
Oh, that's right. That's 2 weeks. I ordered it. I have it ordered.
All right.
Actually, I had it ordered on Amazon.
There's only 982 variants. So,
there is. There is.
There's another one. Third day, I'm like, what the fuck?
Is it like gray ash kind of color? Because
red. No, it isn't.
Because there was one that I didn't see, and I was going to send it to you. Is this another one
that's one of the original ones that came up.
Oh, okay.
Target has one with the extra tune on it.
Oh.
BAM has their own color, and I forget who this other one I sent it.
I think I ordered the Target one, because remember we were
I
together.
told you to. Okay.
Yeah, the Target one.
I ordered that, so now I got three editions.
How many you got coming, BB?
I only have one.
Only one? Okay. Which one do you have coming?
I have the liquid filled one coming from the UK.
Oh, you're right. Oh, okay. Because they were sold out here, right?
Yeah, I got it out of the UK. I think that did you get yours there too?
Yeah. Okay. That's gonna be cool. That's kind of cool.
BB's like, I ordered it. I'm like, fuck.
And I was
because I have myself talked out of it. I'm like, I don't need more. I don't need another one. I got the liquid on. Fuck.
And I think after going through all the vinyl show that we have gone to together and different things, I think this is the most that I actually had to pay for an album. Because, I think after shipping, it was $92 or something. So I'm like, all right. You're getting closer to that $100 mark. Like, oh, boy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was.
That's cool, though.
I think it was. The shipping.
Yeah,
really,
shipping is ridiculous anymore. Yeah, especially over overseas and stuff.
Then there's a blue one that you get their autographs. There's so many.
I don't even know what color mine is. That the Target one. I don't even remember. Is it red?
Probably red.
Red, yeah.
I don't know.
Because it's red because the extra song's Bloodlust.
Oh, okay. Well, because the one I saw, I was like, it was cool. It was like gray, like ash gray, like gray and black and stuff. And I was like, I'm like, no.
I got like an orangish fire. Like Sun something it was called.
Sunburst or something maybe.
So I got that one. Then you talked about that one. I got that one. Then I saw Target with the
extra song.
And I'm like,
that's probably that'll probably be the best song in the album.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They and how many people are doing the same damn thing?
Yep.
There's people thinking everyone.
You know,
all right.
But you can't blame them for doing it though.
Sure.
People are gonna fuck it. If people are gonna do it, do it.
Got to build up their retirement fund.
That's true. If he don't make enough money on the 3 years of tour or whatever, and I'm telling you, they're not going to be done. They're not going to be fucking done. There's no way. Since we're talking about stuff, what are we listening to? BC, what do you got going?
After our final episodes last year, and then there one part we went through our top albums from
the year
previous
before.
year, and are we still listening to them? And I'm looking at my list going, what the fuck is this?
There was one album. I'm like, what the hell are you even talking about?
Scarlet Rebels. I'm like, what the fuck is it? So I went back this past week and put that on. I'm like, oh, okay. And then they have 2 other albums and a live album.
Oh, yeah?
They kind of, it's like, I think it's only 7 or 8 songs. But they threw it out. They only had 1 album at the time when this came out, right at COVID. But they have, so a total of 3 albums and a live album. They're from Wales. Good Irish folk. Yeah. But it's good. It's just catchy, good tunes.
Scarlet Rebels.
Scarlet Rebels.
Okay.
Where did I find? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. I don't know where I found them, and then we looked up. I'm like,
huh.
Even I was like, what the fuck? Who are they?
Yeah, because when I was typing them out, and I'm like, I don't remember that. And I think there was one on BB's too. Like, what the fuck is that?
I don't know where I found them. So I started delving into their first 2 albums. Live albums.
Yeah. All right, cool. How about you, BB?
I'm kind of checked out of there's a guy on Facebook that we all follow that has like real rare vinyl pressings, and you know all this other stuff comes up. So every once in a while, Don Dokken's solo album Up in Ashes from 1989 come up, and it's like $100 and some bucks. I'm like, I can't, and it's been a long time since I listened to this album. So I streamed it the other day, and it's really good. You know, there's a couple like softer, slower, you know, what you would think, you know, Don's softer side, and there's some other good rockers, some mid-tempo ones in there. And it's a longer album. It's 54 minutes, so you get 11 songs. There's some really good stuff on there that I haven't, you know, listened to in a long, long time. So, yeah, Up in Ashes by Don Dokken.
Okay. As I said before, with my little commute, I just kind of, first day, I'm like, Operation Mindcrime. Like, the song Speak spoke to me. I could hear, for some reason, I woke up singing that song. And I'm like, all right, that's gonna be the first commute one. So then I did that. I did Mindcrime. Then the next day I did Iron Maiden, Peace of Mind, and then yesterday I did Tesla, Mechanical Resonance. So and I listened to Slamfest this morning actually on my way to work. So another good one. Brad did the Kiss and Def Leppard tour from, I don't know, 2000 something or whatever when they toured together. So cool. That's what we got going. BC's got a little Scarlet Rebels from Wales, little Don Dokken, Up from the Ashes from solo album from Don Dokken from 1990 BB.
Oh, 90.
And Tesla, Mechanical Resonance, Queensryche Mindcrime from me, and Maiden, Peace of Mind, and Little Slamfest also too. Not to mention, you know, Grown Up Rock and Shout Out Loudcast and Podcast Rock City and the ones I'll listen to all week. But so that's what we got going. So for this week's episode, and it's funny. Speaking of Shout Out Loudcast, they also do album review crew. I was on with those guys a couple weeks ago, and had a good time with those guys. We did Judas Priest Turbo, and they also do a Dorm Damage, like a side cast where they can kind of break away from doing Kiss stuff, and they'll do like movies and other bands and stuff like that. And the one came out yesterday. It was Mount Rushmore of hair bands. So we literally, I mean, ask these guys. I literally have these episodes scheduled months in advance. So what I did was I wanted to have these guys give me their Mount Rushmore of American metal. And I didn't say thrash metal or whatever. I just put metal out there. BC asked me about it, and I was very vague about the answer. Dylan asked me the same thing. BB didn't ask me at all. So I'm sure he had what was in his head. So Dylan gave me his bands, but he didn't give me any songs, which is fine. So what I wanted to do is I wanted everybody to pick their Mount Rushmore metal band, American metal band, and give like 3 songs that you would like. Here, listen to these 3 songs. This is like, we'll get you into these guys. All right, so we spun the magic wheel, and I came up first in the rotation. So my kind of rationale was, I'm like, okay, I could do the easy route and do, you know, I'm not going to say band names, but because I don't know what else anybody picked. We didn't share any lists with each other. So I'm thinking I want to do what I would think would be a cool Mount Rushmore of metal bands that started in the 80s. Most all the metal bands that we're going to talk about started in the 80s, but ones that were like MTV era, ones that I got into that were metal, because, there's a lot of this stuff like bands like Rat and Dokken and stuff like that are considered, quotations, Bon Jovi, hair metal. So I wanted to go with just like straight up metal for my band. So first band I picked, these guys came on my radar before MTV was going. For some reason, it was one of the bands that we picked up on our Sunday trip, and I think Rob picked this one up. And it was their first record, Under the Blade, Twisted Sister. So we were into them from their first album, but I mean, they slugged it out in the clubs in Long Island for years before they got to at least have Under the Blade out, because there's as BC, there's a ton of stuff that came out, like club shows and everything like that throughout the years. So, and it's funny because my former director at the library, she had seen Twisted Sister in the clubs in Long Island for like a long time before they hit big, which I think is pretty cool. So finally, we got to see them on the Stay Hungry tour. They played in Allentown. It was with Rat and Lita Ford. Lita Ford's bus broke down, so we didn't get to see her. But it was cool, and it was so weird because, we knew the Under the Blade album, we knew the You Can't Stop Rock and Roll album, and then when Stay Hungry came out, there was some good rock and stuff on there, but you could tell it was more polished than the other stuff. And one thing I really remember is Dee Snider's bad language, cursing and shit during the show. It was crazy. I was like I never heard anybody curse like that. I mean, by then it was like 84, late summer of 84 maybe that we saw that show. But it was like, we had a couple bands under our belts by that time, but like no one that was like fucking this and fucking, we were kind of like, oh, I mean, so it was different to see. So the 3 tunes I picked out for these guys are I tried to kind of get I picked 4 songs for this one, so I kind of touched on the first 4 albums. So I did the title track for Under the Blade, just fucking ripping song. You Can't Stop Rock and Roll, absolutely kill it. I mean, actually, I did all the title tracks for the first 4 albums. So I did Stay Hungry for Stay Hungry, and I did Come Out and Play. And I will still champion Till the Ship Goes Down, Come Out and Play. That album is fucking fantastic. There's maybe 1 or 2 duds on there for me. BC, come out and play. So I always like those guys. They're going to be touring now. There's no dates released though, which is weird. I don't think. I think it's weird. It would be cool if they were like the surprise band on a Monsters of Rock cruise. That would be kind of cool. Or do a one-off show at the pre-party, because the pre-party looks like I'm not a fan of the pre-party for Monsters of Rock cruise this year. We're still going to go because it's always a good time.
We're going to find a bar drinking.
Yeah,
I know. We should.
Maybe Wall Street will play good.
Oh, yeah, we can only hope. Fucking Joe Shit the Ragman on vocals.
I told you he was at M3.
Yeah, we had the same
clothes,
outfit.
same everything. I'm like, oh my god.
He didn't change for 3 months.
Take a fucking bat. So my second band is going to be Wasp. These guys came on the radar, of course. Animal Fuck Like a Beast, which I hate that fucking song, by the way. I think it sucks. But Wasp has always been true. They've always been metal. They've always had great stuff out, I think. Some of the stuff got kind of samey when they tried to do like Crimson Idol over again when they did the Neon Gods one, and he's like rather religious now, and a lot of the lyrical stuff reflects that stuff now. But the 3 tracks I went with for Wasp was I Want to Be Somebody from the first self-titled album, Wild Child from the Last Command album, and then Chainsaw Charlie from the Crimson Idol. But I mean, you could go to any of those, and you can even include Headless Children in there. The first 4 albums, just like kick-ass albums, and then he started to get serious, and then like some of the albums were like but there's good stuff in there. They put out Kill Fuck Die, that was like an industrial metal album that is. It's good. I think it's real good.
It's different.
Yeah, and they put out the live album from that tour, the what the hell's it called? Live Assassins.
Yes.
That, and even like those songs I thought from Kill Fuck Die came across really good live. BC's favorite song, "You Fucking Suck." But it's funny now because like he swore he wouldn't do Animal again, but he's doing it live. But he has the crowd sing the "Fuck Like a Beast" part, So he found a loophole in his own stuff. So my next band is going to be band. This is a band that on our Saturday bus trips I grabbed this album, Armored Saint, March of the Saints, the first album. I just thought it was such a cool band. They had I was a kid and still watching like Excalibur and all that shit, and they kind of looked like they kind of stepped out of the set list of that. First album, just absolutely fantastic. So, and they're still, and they have an album coming out this year too. So that's in the can. Still, I mean, I would say if Dave Picard didn't pass away, I'd say they'd still have the original lineup in the band. But they have Jeff Duncan in there now, and he's fantastic. And Phil Sandoval. It's weird because Phil was with them for the first album, but he wasn't there like for the next one or the next 2. And then he was back in again. I'm not sure what took place there, but Jeff Duncan is an excellent addition to it. Still playing shows. We saw them last year down at the Sherman. John Bush. I wish he came up to our box and sang. He went up to the VIP box on the other side. Our buddy Jim Polkowski got some good pictures up there. Great band, great live band, and they're a band, BC, we thought we'd never get to see. Because they were done for a while, then they came out in the mid 90s, and then they were dormant again for a while. Came out with La Raza, so but now just very prolific band, great. But I mean, listen to their lyrics. Like, I'm not a big lyric guy, but like there's some really like thought provoking lyrics that these guys have. But just straight up metal. So I have "Can You Deliver" for the first track that I would give someone. Second one, "Symbol of Salvation," title track from that album. That album fucking kicks ass. And the third track is a newer track from Win Hands Down. It's called "An Exercise in Debauchery." That song fucking rips. And it's funny because talking about thought provoking lyrics and stuff. It's about porn addiction. And when you read the lyrics, you're like, wow. If you watch the video, it's almost like a fucking Steel Panther video. It kind of it's watch the video. Watch the video. It's fucking crazy. So then the third band, I had to throw these guys out there. Top 5 band for me. I do a podcast about this band, side podcast about these guys, Queensryche. I loved these guys from the second I heard Queen of the Reich on Metal Shop, the only show with teeth, BB.
Yeah.
Heard the song Queen of the Reich, so I'm throwing that one out as my first track. That song just hooked me. It was so different from everything that came out. It came out in 1983. And I still have my original copy of the EP. That hits the turntable a couple times a year. So if you're a Queensryche fan, you haven't checked it out yet, check out the I Remember Now podcast. I do it with Ray Farrow from the Asylum podcast. How are we doing?
How are we doing, right?
Great guy. We got to meet him, BC and I, out in Pittsburgh this summer. Great guy. Guy's like fucking like 7 foot tall. He's like
there he is. Holy shit.
Like him next to me, you look like Yogi and Boo Boo. But super nice guy. All the guys in the Asylum podcast are awesome too. So the other tracks I put out for them is it might be BC's favorite song, if I remember, and also a Harpo tune, I Don't Believe in Love, from Operation Mindcrime. And I put the title track from the Empire album, song Empire, on there. I just love that song. When they do that live, whether it be Jeff Tate doing it now or the band doing it with Todd, just that just, and then the kick in, I just love it. The melodic guitars in it, just absolutely love these guys. We're gonna see them again on Monsters of Rock cruise. But I love you, Queensryche, but I wish they would take a year off from the cruise, because. But I will still hit both shows because I'm a Queensryche lunatic, so I will definitely still check them out. I'll drag Richie down the front again.
Richard,
come on, Richie, let's go. So that's what I got. What do you think, BB?
Yeah, this is a great list. I like how you kind of kept it to the 80s. The big surprise is Armored Saint. Like, they're always that band. They're always like the opener. But when you get into their music, it is so good. Some great albums. It was great seeing Wasp, and Armored Saint last year. Two great American bands. Twisted Sister, what can you say about these guys? These guys were made for MTV. Just their look, the bright colors, the way Dee wore his hair and lined his face with makeup. Definitely a foundation of American metal for sure. And then Queensryche, these guys have been around for a long time and definitely deserve to be on that mountain. And countless numbers of great songs, going through two different singers, not even missing a beat with Todd and Jeff. That they sound pretty similar, still making amazing music, still touring, which is great. Very impressive, sir.
Thank you. And I threw Twisted Sister in there too because of I had to put one East Coast band in there. Like most of the stuff that comes out where, you got Seattle for Queensryche, you have LA for like northern LA, I think, for Armored Saint, and then Wasp was LA also. So I wanted to throw a little East Coast love in there too. All right, BB, you came up next. Oh, I'm sorry, BC, go ahead.
All right.
Jeez, it's only after the first guy. Fuck.
Oof.
All right.
Slow down.
Sorry, BC.
Twisted Sister, like you said, they've been around forever, and it was weird because like I was into Kiss, and then like Cheap Trick, Van Halen, more toned down, and then bands like Twisted Sister, Wasp, they started coming out and they had such a distinctive image to them, and it's like, oh, cool. This got you back into like Kiss roots.
Yeah.
So those two bands are great. Armored Saint, come on, John Bush. That's all I gotta say about that. And Queensryche, like maybe said, they're still putting out good albums. And they're still going. I mean, like you said, take a little break. Don't want to get burned out. But like you said, we'll still see it.
Yeah.
But four bands that are very distinctive in the 80s.
All right. And Armored Saint's supposed to have an album out this year too. So hopefully we'll get to see that. All right, so BB, I'm sorry. Now it's your turn, BB. You came up in the rotation.
All right. I kind of went the opposite way of you, Righty. You look at Mount Rushmore, you got George, you got Jefferson, you got Abraham, you got Theodore up there. There's a big gap of dates with those guys. So I kind of just decided to break it down in decades. So I broke it down 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and I picked bands and songs from that era. So 70, of course, I had to pick Kiss, kind of like a ground ball. But if you think of the 70s, if you're thinking of American metal, these guys were the start of it in a way. Their antics on stage with the blood and the fire and the flaming guitars and rising drum kits, like they brought out all the stops with their live show. And I think just for the foundation of this podcast, I'm like, Kiss is kind of a ground ball, but I think they deserve to be there. So then I just tried to pick songs that are a little bit heavier in their catalog. So from the debut from 1974, I picked 100,000 Years. Then I went to Hotter Than Hell from 74 as well. I picked Parasite. And then Destroyer, I picked God of Thunder. I think those songs, they have a deep tone, a little bit more of a darker side, a little bit more metal, not so, happy, rocky stuff that Kiss was known for back then. But those three songs have a little heavier sound to them. So I go to the 80s. And this was tough for 80s because I kind of wanted to pick somebody that I didn't think you guys were going to pick.
And I did.
And Wright picked Wasp.
Oh, really?
And I picked Wasp as well. I think these guys, once again, the stage presence, they were pretty close to, doing the same stuff that Kiss did. Like BC said, you see them in circus, you're like, holy shit, he's covered in blood, he's wearing a jockstrap with a fucking blade coming out of it, he's got beef hides all over the fucking stage.
Throwing meat out into the crowd.
Meat out, slapping everybody with a side of ribs.
Got some steak.
So I always thought Wasp definitely kind of showcases 80s metal because there were so many good bands in the 80s. Like Wrighty had 4 of them. I think these guys were staples for that. The 3 songs that I picked were Hellion from their debut album 1984. Then from The Last Command of 1985, I picked Fistful of Diamonds. And then the Inside the Electric Circus 1986, I picked Shoot from the Hip. So we go to the 90s. Metal's kind of getting a little slow here. I don't know if you want to, there's a lot of versions of metal grunges. If Allison changes kind of grungy metal. I kind of wanted to kind of stay closer to more of the metal factor of it. So my ground ball for the 90s, I thought these guys really kind of showcased. They were out front. They did a lot of their stuff. They were all over the place. I'm picking Megadeth. We already talked about these guys before. Their new album come out. They're still putting out amazing shit. And I just think the 80s, they hit like a stride. They weren't as heavy as some of their earlier albums. They got a little radio friendly. They got a little MTV friendly. They were all over the place on MTV. And it was maybe like a different metal. I guess thrash metal, but they were out front with another band. But these guys were always on my radar. Always loved these guys. So the 3 songs I picked from Megadeth were Tornado of Souls from Rest in Peace from 1990. Skin of My Teeth from Countdown to Extinction from 1992. And Reckoning Day from Euthanasia, the opening track from 1994. And then my 4th ground ball for my Mount Rushmore. I'm going to the 2000s. And I think this band they could have been in the 80s, they could have been in the 90s, but I had to throw them in the 2000s because they're still putting out some good shit. They're still touring. They really blew it up this year, or last year with all their tours. I'm talking about Metallica. These guys still, from their debut album to 72 seasons, just putting out some really good stuff, and just a testament of time that these guys have stuck together, through the days of load and reload and cutting their hair and getting their balls busted. And they kind of been through everything. They even did the Lulu album, which was a tank, but they tried to do something different. It didn't work, but then they came back. They came back in 2008 with their album Death Magnetic. I picked the song Cyanide off that album. Then we go to Hardwired from 2016. I picked the title track Hardwired. In their new album 72 Season, which is amazing, from 2023. Lux Inertia. Just a killer song. That whole album is fantastic. I listened to it the other day. It's been a couple, at least a year or so since I listened to that. And these guys, like I said, they're still out. They're still putting out some great stuff. Still heavy as ever. Sticking to their roots. And just playing the fuck out of places. Right, BC?
Yeah. Metallica, yeah, like you said, they've been around since early 80s. And still around, still putting out good stuff. Megadeth, I've heard this band
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
Not
You
bad.
may have 1 or 2 or 3 of their albums
Two or three, yeah. But
coming.
you heard a little bit more about that. Wasp, come on, like we talked about. And then Kiss. Right there, Kiss is the reason I listen to any of this music.
Yeah,
They're the ones that started off for me, so they gotta go up there.
gotcha. Righty.
Now, this is why I didn't give anybody like any kind of
Directions.
boundaries
Yeah.
or whatever. You know what I mean? So, because I wanted to see how everybody approached it, and I like the decades thing. Like BC said, I mean, if it wasn't for Kiss, we wouldn't be in this room together doing this podcast for sure. We've done a ton of Kiss episodes, and then we got the Kiss crew together, and we doing them, and there is a Kiss crew episode coming up very soon. 100,000 Years. I've always liked that song. There's some fans that fucking hate that. I think Tom Gelati from Child Outcast, I think he fucking hates that song. I love it. I think it's great. Parasite is a great, and I like how you pick the heavy ones. Like Parasite is awesome. Rest in Peace, Ace, and God of Thunder. Man, I remember hearing that the first time. I was
Scaring
like,
the
what
shit
the
out of
hell is this? Some people
Scaring
hate
kids
this.
since 1976.
Yeah, and kids, I mean, and people get mad about the kids talking and stuff. I think it adds a little extra something to it. I do like the Kiss Alive 2 version better. But great choices there. Wasp, I talked about those guys. The songs you picked, Helene is great. Fistful of Dollars, Shoot from the Hip. I'm glad you went to Electric Circus, though, BB. That's a good one. Megadeth, always enjoy those guys. The Rust in Peace album is just a fucking thrash metal masterpiece. It's just absolutely off the scale. And Tornado of Souls is one of my favorite songs from there. Skin of My Teeth, man, I remember listening to that one. Just fantastic rocking song. Reckoning Day, like that is such a crunchy start to an album. Fantastic. Metallica, I'll give it a BC. But I like that you went newer Metallica. Like Cyanide is fucking fantastic. That Hardwired, not the Hardwired, the Death Magnetic album is absolutely fantastic. Hardwired album is fantastic. Title track on there is great. We got to see that one live, BC, because when I finally got to see Metallica, 2014 or some goddamn thing. And Luxie Turner from 72 Seasons, that song just fucking rips. I want to say that was maybe the first song that they released before the album came out.
It was first or second one. Yeah.
Still absolutely love that song. It just absolutely rips. Great picks, BB. Good job, buddy. I knew you'd come through good.
Yeah.
I had no doubts.
Yeah,
I had no
yeah.
doubts.
No doubt didn't make my list. Are they? No.
All right, good job. All right, so there's mine and there's BB. So we're gonna zip into a gem song, and I know what Dylan picked. I have no idea what BC picked. So if you pick this band, don't make a face or anything. I'm not even gonna look at you when I pull it. And I didn't pick this band. I had this band on my band, not the guy, on my list. But then I'm like, the first half of the original band were not Americans, so that's why I didn't pick this band. So we're gonna play a tune from Dio from the Killing the Dragon album from 2002, and Dylan is gonna play Better in the Dark.
I'm alright, I'm crossing over. I just shot the sun. One more night, black as heaven, so no one saw the gun. Running with monsters and shadows, and monsters always know. It's better in the dark. Oh,
All right, hope you guys enjoyed some Dio. I think there was at least 3/4 Americans in that band at the time, because I think it was maybe Simon Wright. No, he's not American either. Maybe half. I know Doug Ulrich was on guitar, so I love that album because I remember, I think BC had it on CD, and he picked me up because we would. Don't try this these days. We would pick me up whenever we get a new album. We kind of get a couple beverages and cruise around and rock out to it. Don't try this at home. But I remember when he picked me up and it was like, check this out. And I'm like, so he like played it and then like shut it before the first vocals come on, because obviously Dio, you're gonna, so like, who's that? And then I remember like this song, like when it kicked during the solo, like it starts but then it ramps up. Oh my god, it's so fucking good. So there you go. So Better in the Dark from the Dio Killing the Dragon album. Excellent album. Doug Ulrich just freaking kicks ass. So we're gonna do some hidden gems now. So we're gonna go to, I'm gonna go first actually this time. I hardly ever go first on these. So and we talked about on one of the wrap up episodes that it's always kind of cool that, you know, throughout, you know, the next year you always find a band or an album that didn't hit your radar at all for the year before, and if you had more time with it or knew about it, it would probably make your list. And that happened to me the other day. I play my radio station on Apple Music, so I had that on there. My usual bands come up like Kiss and Dynamite and Scorpions and Metallica and Iron Maiden and Ozzy. So, but every now and then it'll throw a song on there from someone that you don't know or is not even in your Apple Music library. So I was driving somewhere, and I had the music cranked, and I don't even know what song got played, but like one of my usual bands got played, and this one came on, and I'm like, wow, this is fucking good. And so I had to, you know, tap the phone because the phone was blacked out because it was, you know, just playing, and I was like, what the fuck, I never heard of this before. So I, you know, you can on Apple Music, you can hit a star on your screen, and it'll save the song into your catalog. So I looked, and it's like a band called Amorphous. I've heard the name before, but I've never. This day was like the first time I've ever heard a note of their music, and it instantly had me. It's like a BB, maybe not so much for you, but you were listening. It was playing when you guys came in. It's got some symphonic elements. It's got some like metal. It's got some great vocals, but it also has some of the not quite Cookie Monster vocals, but like the gruff vocals. And this album hit me right away. The album's called Borderland, and it came out 2025. And I'm sure they have other stuff out there, but I have not even listened to this album all the way through. I got about 3/4 of the way through it, and I'm like, damn. I'm like, if the next like 2 or 3 songs are as good as the album, it definitely would have made my list for this year. So my hidden gem this week is a new hidden gem from last year. The band is called Amorphous, and Borderland is the album. What do you got, BC?
One day I was just, like I said, fishing, searching for something new, something to catch my thing. I don't know how I even came about this. It's a band, not a band, just a project, I would say, from 2021. It's called Brothers in Arms. The album is called Sunset and Clark. And it's the brainchild of who? Jack Frost. We all know Jack
Mr.
Frost.
Smiles.
Mr. Smiles.
Smiler.
He's been with a lot of people, and most recently out of Nova.
Yep.
But this is his idea. He got tons of people to play in this album. I'm going to name a few. Todd Poole, Roxy Blue, Keith St. John, Kingdom Come. Andrew Freeman's on it. Paul Shortino. Dave Amato, REO Speedwagon. Just tons. I could go on forever.
And Ted Nugent.
Uncle Ted.
They're the most notable ones off the top of my head right here. But I mean, it's a good album.
Just hard rock stuff or
Hard
covers
rock.
or
No, their own hard rock stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The first tune is called First tune on the album is I relate to the song of my youth. Bitch is crazy. I mean, if you listen to the lyrics,
Another BC theme song.
if you listen to the lyrics, I'm sitting there going,
I know her.
I know her. Yeah, that's
Been
her.
there, done that.
That's her. But it's 10 tracks, all good hard rocking music.
Nice.
Check it out. Little Jack Frost.
Yeah, because now is he with the Fifth now?
He's with someone else.
He's
'Cause
with
I remember
someone
you
else,
Just,
and
you just said that the other
I
day.
want to say yes. Because I think you're right. I remember seeing
Oh, I
that.
saw some like, boy, I wonder why he's jumping on with them guys.
He's everywhere.
He's everywhere. He's everywhere.
I want to say you're right. I saw that.
You just told me that the other day. He was with
Somebody.
someone.
And that,
I want to say the 5th.
okay.
Get on Facebook and go on the 5th. Let's see.
Jack, give us a buzz. Let us know what.
Let us know,
What,
Jack.
what are you doing now?
Jack, what's up next?
He may show up on the Monsters Rock cruise with someone,
Yeah.
you know.
Sure.
But he would remember, like he's a guy that we would go see a band, and he's in the band. Remember, we went to we were at BB King's, and we were seeing. I want to say, was it Armored Saint we saw there, and he was in. It was like Seven Witches or something like that, and he was in that.
Was that night?
Maybe, I don't know. It was in New York City. It was one of the shows we went to,
it
at
might
like
have been
BB
that. Yeah,
King's
yeah.
or the Sony Theater or,
No, there was
or
BB.
whatever.
It was a small place.
Yeah.
BB King's.
Yeah,
They opened up for.
you know, and he'd show up, and then he was in some band at M3.
Yeah.
One of the last times we went, and
He
then he
always
was on
seems
the
to pop.
cruise.
He always seems to pop up.
Because we were like, holy shit, we knew he was with Aldo Nova before the cruise, though.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's good. He rips it up. Remember when they did the? Because he came out and he played with Schenker too that last night, and then he did that All-Star Jam thing too that they always do. He was in that quite a bit. So very talented guy.
Is that M3?
He's got such the creepy smile though, man. He's
got the.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Because you look at it real quick. I thought it was Troy Luccketta.
It does.
You look at it real quick, like oh wait.
Until he opens his mouth.
Troy Luccketta, he's now playing with John Corabi.
John Corabi. I saw that too, yeah.
And
Too bad John Corabi's band couldn't get Glenn Hughes to sing for them.
Poor Dylan.
Jeremy.
Oh, Jeremy Asbrock. Yeah,
Asbrock.
I saw that.
No, I wonder if they play on Corabi's new album that's coming out.
Apparently, they're the band that played on the album.
That's cool. I really super hope that Jeremy gets some traction. Him and Ryan, after being an Aces band for so long, Scott Coogan. I'm sure those guys always land on their feet because they're talented. They're just so talented. These guys, and good for them. Because I saw that and I'm like, oh my good. Jeremy's doing something. I hope Ryan Cook gets something going. I'm sure
the dog back.
Oh yeah,
Ryan.
That'd be fucking
there you
awesome.
go, Ryan.
Hair the dog. Let's go. I was so glad we got to see those guys.
We didn't even know the band. They come out.
Didn't hear one note of it. They were one of the bands that was like you were instantly hooked. We were like, holy fuck! And then we're like, we're getting the CD.
And that was a Tinks.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what. And Ryan was just as super nice at that show in 1993 or 4 or something like that, whatever it was, as he is now. Because I remember when the first time I met him, he was in the big rock show they were called, and they played one of the pre-parties at the Kiss Cruise. And I come up to him I'm like, are you Ryan Cook from Hair of the Dog? He's like, yeah, man. And then so I'm like, dude, we love you guys. I said, I got all 3 of the albums. I said, we got to see you once. You opened up for Brad at Tinks in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And he's like, is that fucking place with the big pillar in the middle of the stage? I'm like, that's it. So, super nice guy. I've got to know him over the last couple of years. I'm not saying we're hanging out and stuff like that, but he'll always stop and chat and ask how I'm doing and stuff. So I'm sure he will absolutely get. Hair of the Dog. That'd be fucking great. Good idea, guys. Come on, Ryan. Let's go, baby. What do you got, BB?
All right. I'm gonna say since BC's in 2021, I'm gonna stay there as well. The band Bordeaux out of LA. I caught this picture of this album on a Facebook hair metal site. And I'm like, boy, I'd never heard of these guys. So I just listened to it the other day. There's some really good stuff on here.
Self-titled?
No, it's called Fallen Angel. Yeah, it's a metallic blue record. So, it's not, you're not going to get the hair metal of Frontier sound. These guys totally sound different. I think there's one or two of the songs are, like the slower mid-tempo that, this kind of genre has to kind of put on their album. But there's some really good stuff on here. So definitely I would, highly advise check it out. Really
All right. Cool. So that's what we got. My hidden gem was Amorphous Borderland album from last year. If you're like kind of symphonic metal with some cool vocals and a little tinge of some gruff stuff in there, very cool album. And we're gonna 2021 for the Killer Bees here. We have Brothers in Arms from the Sunset and Clark, or you said right? Sunset and Clark, featuring Jack Frost and many special rockin' guests, and also 2021 for BB, the band called Bordeaux and the Fallen Angel. I gotta check both of those out. So I love when we get to do the hidden gems. And I bust Dylan about kiboshing us a lot, but it's pretty much a time thing. If there's 4 of us here, and we got a big thing going on, so I just like busting his ass about it. So, but it is cool to do that, and I kind of think it makes it even better that we don't do it all the time now. It kind of makes it a little more special when we do actually get to do it. So that's what we got going. So back to Mount Rushmore in BC. You came up on the spin.
The spin. All right. When Steve said this, I was like,
He asked me, and I was very vague with the answer. I'm like,
no, even before
whatever
he
you-
asked you, I was like, I don't know what this means. I mean, yeah, okay. Is this what I think it would be?
You define it.
Sometimes it's not as easy as you think.
And then he threw American. I'm like, oh. And then I'm thinking, no, they're not American. They're not American.
no,
they're not
no,
American.
no.
I'm like, motherfucker. That's why I messaged him one night, like, hey, do it. I mean,
That's why American Metal's in quotations on the schedule.
so I was like, Now he came up with probably about 3 different lists. And I was like, this ain't, no. I was
Overthinking is what he's doing, BB. Overthinking.
So I was like, nah, that's not metal. I don't consider it metal. But what I don't consider metal, some people might consider it metal. I don't know. But anyways, I tossed around and came up with these 4. It's almost like a /Big 4 of American metal. But anyways, I'm going to start with probably the newest one in the whole group here is Municipal Waste. To me, metal is just fucking ripping guitars, grinding, and fast drums. Lyrically, fast music. You know what I mean? To me, that's metal. A lot of her stuff falls under.
15 songs for 34 minutes.
Yeah, you don't get faster than that. But I find these guys really cool, and they got a good.
I think Dylan brought those guys to us.
He did, and I've been hooked on them. I got 1 or 2, probably about 3 vinyls of theirs. But songs I would pick if you want to listen to them, "Wrath of the Severed Head." I mean, and these guys not only rip it up like, but lyrically, you find yourself chuckling at some of the lyrics in it.
It's funny, like the one song's like Beer Pong or Beer
Beer Pressure. That's
Okay.
one of my songs I picked. Beer Pressure. I'm like, you listen. The music's great. The lyrics are not serious. It's just fun. And then another song I picked from him was Last Crawl. We've been there a few nights. So this music I can relate to. So it's just shredding guitars and fucking fast drums. Like I don't metal.
And it's funny because they got a lot of time changes in like such short songs. It's cool.
Yeah. Like you think it's the same song as it's like 2 songs later. You really got to pay attention. So that opened the floodgates for me. And then my second band I picked is Overkill. I think they're a band that gets overlooked a lot when it comes to the big people in metal and shit. I've dug these guys since way back in songs I picked from them would be Hello from the Gutter. That was their big song back in the probably late 80s, I want to say. And then some of their newer stuff is, I mean, they're still putting albums out today, and they're one of the bands, in my opinion, are getting better and better. Another song you check out by these guys is Electric Rattlesnake. But and then another song, Scorched. I mean, this song just tears it up. Between the ripping guitar, like I said, all these bands here that I picked tonight, just the ripping guitars, the double bass, and there's no, I can't say melodicness. It's more, I don't know. It's different.
It's just punch in the face.
Punch in the face. And to me, that's fucking metal. The third band I'm going to pick in this group would be, I got to go with these guys, Testament. I've always been preaching these guys for years and years, so that's why one of those songs I picked is Practice What You Preach. Preach. I mean, it just has a metal riffs and fucking drum in the background, the angry, like, background vocals. DB's like scared already. Another track I would have you guys check out would be Children of the New Level, which is probably their last album, I believe. And then going back into some of their earlier stuff, a song Into the Pit. Just fucking trash metal at its best. Then I have to go with my favorite angry metal music, Megadeth. It's Dave Mustaine. I remember these guys back in the day. It's like, yeah. Everybody around me was not listening to Megadeth, and I was like, "Hi, yeah, come on, Megadeth."
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh no, that's not funny." I was like,
No,
they're
Metallica.
good.
Listen to Metallica.
No, that was even different though. But if I was going to send some tunes to people, Holy Wars. It's just classic Megadeth. You got to go with that. Another one from the early days, Hook and Mouth. I think is just aggressive, very, very fast and Dave-like. And then the final tune, We'll Be Back. Another ripping, shredding tune. But all this was, to me, fast-paced, angry. That is metal to me. That's what I finally went with. There was a bunch of other ways. I'm like, that's not really. There's some bands I want to, and it's like, people laugh at me. I say they're metal because maybe something was metal, but then they're not metal anymore. But that's what I got. What do you think, Steve?
That's why I did this the way I did it. Couple crossovers, which is no problem at all. Municipal Waste. Thank you, Dylan, for bringing this. I have to listen to more of these guys because I listened to the one album that Dylan brought up, and then the one after that, and I think they had one last year or the year before. I don't know, but like it's fun. You know what I mean? It's like not serious metal. You know what I mean? It's just like metal, like punch in the face metal, but it's not like you're gonna die and blah blah blah. But even if it's like a song like You're Gonna Die, it's like you're gonna die like in a fun way or something. You know what I mean?
You're gonna die drinking, puking.
Yeah. So like it's like party thrash.
Yes.
Right?
That's what
party thrash. Overkill. This is a band. This actually, I'm gonna throw them and Testament together here that you have picked. Overkill and Testament. I love their newer stuff. I've said it before. I think the older stuff for me is a production thing.
Yeah.
But like the albums now are so crisp sounding and like Bobby Blitz from Overkill, and I know some people like how they hate Lemmy's vocals, how they hate Geddy Lee's vocals. They hate his vocals just the same or maybe even more, but it fits what they're doing. Like their last couple albums, like Hello from the Gutter is great. I think Eddie Trunk's on that song actually.
Yeah.
I think so. I think there's like a radio thing, and I think Eddie Trunk is on that because he's really good friends with that. And a friend of ours is friends with those guys.
Yep.
Ernie, right? Ernie
loves them.
Yeah, he loves them. I talked to him at Kevin and Vanessa's wedding for probably like they had to come out and get us to bring us into the wedding because we were just shooting the shit about Seth and Overkill and stuff like that. So, but like Electric Rattlesnake, Snake, great song. I can't read what I wrote down for the third song. Scorched. That's a title track, I think.
Yeah, their last.
Great. I mean, just like I love their newer stuff. Testament, same thing. But like I'm getting into a little bit more of the older Testament stuff. Like Electric Crown is fucking fantastic because they did that.
If they would reissue, I think the earlier stuff,
like remaster or
because like you said, production is.
Yeah.
And that's just the thing. I think I want to say with that music style back in the day.
Right. Because when we saw them at Croc Rock, I was like, man, I wish the older albums sound like they sound live. Because when they did Electric Crown, that song stood out to me. Like, when I left that show, I'm like, I gotta find out what album Electric Crown is from, because it was so fucking awesome. And Chuck Billy, baby, Chuck fucking Billy, and Children of the Next Level. Oh my God, I must listen to that song 100 times the year that came out. Just the time changes in it and how that kind of chorus just kind of takes off. I absolutely love it. And the Into the Pit, that's another friggin' great. You know, I mean, like I said, I got to listen to more older Testament, but like that's the production. Megadeth, talked about them before, but Holy Wars Punishment Due, great song, and I think we talked about it too. That, like, for me, a sign of a great song is a song that when a band plays it live, they can either open or close the show with it. And we've seen them do both. There's shows where we've seen Megadeth and they've opened up the show with that, and then we've seen shows where they close the show with that. So I mean, I think that's a great tale of a Kiss, Detroit Rock City. We've seen them open the show with Detroit Rock City. We've seen them maybe not close the show, but it was at least an encore. Absolutely fantastic. So good. I see. This is exactly what I was hoping for when I threw this topic out, to just boom, like, see what everyone's thoughts are. Like no parameters, no rules. Oh, I love it.
PB.
Yeah, when you think of American metal, this is what you look at. This is what in my brain I see, like heavy stuff. We were walking in, I said, I go, probably you guys are going to pick Overkill and Testament because, you know, they're American metal, they're heavy. BC's like, you already picked two of mine. I'm like, oh, see, all right.
You already know two of mine.
So BB had Overkill and Testament. He changed it.
So
I changed it. I changed it last minute. Megadeth, of course, is on my list, and then the three. You know, these three easily, you know, heavy American metal. Not very familiar, you know, with any of those three.
BB's like, what the fuck?
I probably out of the three, I probably listened to more Overkill than the other two, but you know, it's not where I go to, so it's tough to say, oh yeah, the Testament's great, blah blah blah. You know, Unmissable Waste is great. Well, we did listen to them, and they are fun, but it's just those three bands are easily out of my wheelhouse. But this is what my brain thinks of when Steve says metal. I'm like, boy, I really don't listen to that much metal. Like, how am I going to change it to work in my favor compared to something like this list, you know? But yeah, that's metal, baby.
Sweet. All right, so Dylan came up last. It's weird that Dylan's not here, but he came up last on the wheel. So here's what Dylan texted. He says, so I tried to pick bands across the timeline to diversify / reflect origins of the actual Mount Rushmore, where the artists that designed it thought the presidents represented the most important events in U.S. history. Okay, cool. First band he has is Blue Oyster Cult, which I was like, metal, but I'm like, yeah, you know what? Like, if you listen to their stuff and see them live, I mean, we've all seen them live here. Dylan put Blue Oyster Cult. They shifted the game in America with heavy hits like "Don't Fear the Reaper" and "Godzilla" and "Burning for You." Not as heavy as what would come, but they were an important step in that direction. Foundation on the road to heavy metal. Great comment to that. Love those guys. I wish I got into them sooner. Thanks, Dave Broski. Metallica, biggest heavy metal band of all time. They transcended the genre. They're the biggest of the big four, masters of metal. They have stood the test of time, for sure. Here's one, Pantera.
Yeah.
Represented in this comment is fantastic. Pantera represented a new direction for metal after they switched from hair metal with Cowboys from Hell. Dimebag wore his influences of the old guard on his sleeve, and they brought metal to a new level. See that? See what he did there?
Mm-hmm.
New lava. And then he has Slipknot. Awesome. Bringing the theatrics of Kiss together with the heaviness of modern metal and new metal of Korn. Slipknot changed the game once again with their massive band. So what do you think, BC, of Dylan's?
Blue Oyster Cult. I mean, there's a band that, I mean, you've been champion for a few years now. So, I mean, I have to delve into a little bit more. Give me a little guidance.
Listen to their live albums. That's all I can tell you. Listen to the 3 anniversary live albums.
Okay. Metallica. Come on. When it comes to metal, I mean, these are one of those bands back in the day for me. Is Megadeth, Metallica. They were the Pantera. Another good one. I totally. They slipped my mind. There's a lot of what's it? Far Beyond Driven. That's fucking metal and fucking angry. And Slipknot. I mean, I've seen them live and scared the shit out of me. And there's some songs I do like in them, and there's some that's like a little too much even for BC.
All right,
but not bad.
All right, I'll go next. Blue Oyster Cult. Like I said, yeah, I wish I got into these guys earlier. I mean, they do have some weird stuff. Don't get me wrong. One of the song is like something like a foot or something like that. It's really fucking weird, but it's actually not bad. But like I say, if you want to get into these guys, check out the last 3 live albums that they put out. They're the 50th anniversary shows. They played 3 nights at New York City. They played the whole first 3 albums, and then they mixed in other songs from their other albums throughout the rest of the shows. And they hit my turntable quite a bit. And so I definitely enjoyed them. Thank you once again, Dave Broski. Metallica, I mean, we talked about these guys already, but they are the kings of, I'll say thrash metal, because like them and Maiden, I think, are like the 2 main metal bands in the world right now, as far as I can think. But still doing stuff. They're still, I think they're done on this cycle of the tour. So maybe I would say we'll probably get another album from these guys. Pantera, these guys, band never even hit my mind at all thinking about this, but they did. I mean, like they're not I mean, they are punching. I mean, literally, their one album is a guy actually getting punched in the face. Yeah. That's like an actual guy that they paid and he got punched in the face for their fucking album cover. But like some of their stuff is like that guy's punching you in the face, and then as you're falling to the floor, there's another guy hitting you with a fucking baseball bat. Like when like their like last couple albums were like holy fuck, like insane heavy stuff. Sucks and Dimebag got, when they were doing Damage Plan and some fucking lunatic came up and killed them on stage and another dude, and just insane. But like their music, and I mean, and they're, I can do quotations touring. It's Charlie Benetti, Zakk Wylde, and Rex Brown and Phil Anselmo doing out, because they were, speaking of Metallica, they were one of the bands that were opening for Metallica. So they're still, can't call it a reunion or anything like that, but they're still keeping the music alive. And it's and I gotta, have you seen any videos of them with any of these live shows, BB?
Oh yeah,
because I know you're a big Zakk guy. I have to watch. I've not watched one video at all of them playing.
There was actually one time, like in the beginning when they were opening up for Metallica, the way at one point there was like a stage light, and Zakk was doing a solo, and there was like a shadow that kind of peered off to the background. I swear to God, it looked like fucking Dimebag. I'm like,
no shit.
It was just like, it gave you like goosebumps. Like,
really?
Holy shit.
That's cool. Yeah, I have to check some of that. I have not checked anything out.
That's good.
Of those guys playing.
It's fucking Zakk and Charlie Benetti.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
can't go wrong.
In Slipknot, I'm a little bit with BC. Some of it's a little too much for me, but there are certain ones that I've been, and this is another band that Dylan kind of, brought to the podcast, because we kind of shied away from like the crazy heavy shit. Like, we don't do like like death metal, like the bands that the logos, you can't even read what the fucking name is. Like, we don't get like that crazy. But, I mean, people love that shit, Cannibal Corpse and all that shit, and Napalm Death. I mean, guys love them, but, you like what you like, but we don't really delve into that heavy stuff. But, like, Slipknot, I think they're the kind of bridge between that stuff and the stuff that we listen to. But Corey Taylor, his vocal range is insane for him to sing that guttural shit and then just, like, sing. Friggin' crazy doing the Stone Sour stuff. But, like, what I like about them is, though, like, you get a song and they get a good thing going, and the guy's banging the keg with the fucking baseball bat, that ting, ting, ting. I love that. I mean, it's so cool. And there's a couple songs like Social Psycho, maybe, and then there was a couple ones that we did talk about. Because I want to say, didn't Dylan do a live Slipknot album or some kind? I know we did a Slipknot album. It might have been a birthday album of Dylan's or something. I know we did one, and because we know when the first time I listened to that BC, we were going on one of the wine trips up to New York on the bus. I remember putting that on. So, like you said, like I'm like BC. Like, some of the stuff I think is a little much for me, but there's some stuff there that, like, I can't totally discount those guys.
No.
What do you think, BB?
Yeah, Blue Oyster Cult, definitely see why he picked them, and I kind of like how he almost kind of split this up kind of in a way I did. Definitely a front runner for metal in the 70s. I'm more of the hits guy that I know that's on the radio. Kind of like BC. Maybe one of these days I will listen to that live album, give it a chance. Metallica, we talked about. Pantera, they were the 90s band, and I'm like, Pantera, Megadeth.
Oh, were they on your radar for this?
Yeah, because they released 4 albums
right.
in the 90s, so I'm like, And I listened to more Megadeth in the 90s than I did Pantera, so I'm like, all right, well, that's what I picked up. And then Slipknot, like everybody else, I'm not very familiar. I like if they do like the heavier stuff, and then like the chorus is more melodic. I love his melodic voice. The heavier stuff I don't quite get into that much, but they definitely deserve to be up there because they're that band that kind of put themselves out there. They were the front runners for like this new heavy gruff. All the kids were all over these guys, Mask and shit. So they're still heavy shit. Still kind of going back to their roots of maybe like the Kiss days of the Mask, makeup. Maybe there's something there, but yeah, these are four easily American metal bands that deserve to be talked about for sure.
And it's weird because I remember BC said that he had gone to a show and Slipknot was playing, and like they were like, get down, and everybody like gets down. They're like a culture.
Yeah.
Like their followers. They're like a culture.
Jumping up and down, and also everybody on the fucking ground, and the whole place went in one motion. I'm like, get down.
BC's the only one standing.
We were. I'm like, get down, they're gonna kill us.
But it's like they're like their own culture. It's crazy, but it's cool though. You know what I mean? It's like I love that, like music does that to people. Whether you're a country music guy or a rap guy, which I don't know why you would be, but whatever, to each his own. But like, I've said it a million times. I feel bad for people that don't have music in their lives. Like, what the fuck do you do? You know what I mean?
I
like,
pet my kitty.
I think there's even cat people out there that like fucking like metal.
I hope so.
Baco from Cobras and Fire. He's a huge cat guy. So yeah. So we'll go around. We'll wrap up and we'll get up on out of here. We'll wrap up the 62. As sad as that is to even say. So what do you got, BB?
Yeah, this is a great episode. A great way to end some amazing 5 years, here, doing this, talking about what we love, not only on the podcast, taking it out on the porch in the summer and, doing our own podcast, talking another 4 hours out there, having the drink, just hanging out. This is This is a little tough, Righty. It's a little tough, leaving the 62. A lot of great memories here, and super excited for you and Cordy to start this new, chapter in your lives. Kind of break things down a little bit, minimize some things, and start fresh. And that's every once in a while you need to start fresh. And I think you guys are in a good place, and best of luck to you guys, and nothing but love and appreciation for you too. And even though we're still going to be a little bit further from home, but we're still going to come down and drink in the garage. Just going to sit on the porch. It's going to be in the garage.
Whole new set of neighbors to piss off.
Exactly. But yeah, this is a great episode. I like how everybody kind of thought of it in a different way, and I like when Steve kind of doesn't tell us what he wants, kind of figure it out for yourself. 80s, me and Dylan kind of splitting up through the decades. BC just fucking punching you in the face with some real heavy American metal. This is a great episode, and like I said, I really appreciate how different everybody's list was, and really enjoyed it. BC.
Yeah, I mean, this is for the last episode here, it was a good challenge for me to. I threw a bunch of shit around for over a week, and I said, "Fuck it, let's get angry and bring metal music."
That's because Renee was gone. He had nobody to.
He didn't have
do
anybody
his
to
list.
pick his stuff for him.
You gotta send me a list, woman. But no, again, fun. I mean, like you said, we've been recording here for 5 years. It's gonna be kind of weird, but like you said, sometimes change is good. Change is sometimes needed. So, best of luck at the new place. Like you said, we're gonna be there. And, well, we already drank beer there already.
True.
That's true too.
Yeah,
That's
that's
true.
We technically already drank beer.
Yeah.
Not like that's not gonna happen.
Yeah. No, never. Yeah. I enjoyed it. I'll tell you what. I am so glad this episode came out the way it did. It came out like I hoped it would, and I didn't really have any doubts. But sometimes in the back of your mind, like everybody's gonna pick the same shit. But there were a couple crossovers, but for different reasons. Like BB had the decades thing going, and BC went in another route, and Dylan, as usual, threw stuff out there that was like thought-provoking and no one thought of. So it was cool. Like I said, Pantera was never on my radar. Slipknot was never on my radar. Blue Oyster Cult was an ultimate curveball there, like more of an origins kind of thing. But this was a fun one. I like this one. I like when I throw something out there and just let everybody have their own idea for what it's going to be, and it worked out perfect. And it's going to be tough when we finally lock the door for the final time on the 62 here. We've had some awesome, amazing episodes here, and not even podcast wise, just the parties we've had over the years and the bullshit sessions before we even started the podcast. Like I said, we've been podcasting for years. We just weren't recording it. And that stuff's not going to stop either. I'm like only some miles down the road, but I'm in town every day because I still work here. So that it's not going away. The friendships will never go away. If I moved to Bali where Casey went last year, it wouldn't matter. But whatever takes place, it's still going to be the four of us in the room doing this podcast, and that's the most important thing for me, because I love this. This is my my people, my crew, wherever we record. Like we haven't recorded every episode here since we've started here. Like I said, we do the Kiss Cruise. We were recording at Jen's for a while there, but we do the other ones with her and Sonny down the library as well. So it's not gonna, just the venue is gonna change, and it's weird for me. I've lived on this street, except for 9 months. I've lived on this street. I've lived either at 60 Wayne Street, 67, and then here at the 62. So, I'm trying to figure out a clever way to have 62 come out of my new address, but I'm going to call it the 62 South anyways. So whenever we record there, that's what it'll be. Thank you guys for coming up here all the time. So, huh?
There's still a 6 in it.
There is. Absolutely. So, thank you guys. Like I said, this is very, I'm trying to hold it together, but love you guys. Love our listeners, our friends, the many friends, lifelong friends we made over this podcast, and that's going to continue. So, just everybody, thank you for your support over the years, and we will have a. I'm looking forward to next week's episode too, because it was something we were going to do like last year, and things kind of changed where we didn't do it. So that's coming back for next week. So if you're a vintage listener, welcome back. If you are a new listener, welcome. And we appreciate you guys. We love you. We love the interaction with you guys, the friendships we've made. And so everybody, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. We will see you next time, and there absolutely, positively will be a next time. Love ya. Later.